you really need to take in consideration both of those candles. So I would measure both candles, and I would expect for my pullback to happen on both of these candles. So this measurement here puts my golden zone right here. So if I drop down to the 4 hour and I look at my golden zone, there's still some imbalance. This came and filled the majority of the imbalance. There's still some imbalance here. There's an untapped zone for you people who trade zones. And then right up at the 78, you have relative equal highs with an imbalance here. So clearly we're going up. And if you just looked at that one candle, you'll probably say, okay, we're going to go up 400 pips. We'll just call it a gray area. Yesterday, somebody asked me how I knew the JPYs were going to buy on Friday. As a matter of fact, I think my girl Kim shot me that big middle finger because I told her I told her about her trade. But it's not rocket science, right? So if I understand what I'm looking for next month, which is, I kind of been saying it for weeks, I'm trading the pullback, then I know that I need to see a chalk, right? I need to see a break of a high, that give me a pullback range. Earlier in the week, for many of these pair, I was pointing out this order block. In particular for this one and GJ. So whenever you see price banging, 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 you have to ask yourself, like, man, what's going on? And then you have to think on a strategic level. Bang, bang, bang. What is all this? What's happening right here? And the easy answer is this is a Wyckoff accumulation, right? So you can see the accumulation. Let me just drop down on the time frame, the time frames. Maybe we need to drop down to the 1 hour. So you can see your Wyckoff accumulation schematic. Then after all this, you get to dip down below to take all the liquidity, right? It took that liquidity and then it bounced, right? Where is it going? Where is it going? It's going to take out these highs. You see, every time it came up, you run a high. You run a high. All we're doing in here is trapping traders, right? We trapping them at the lows and the highs. The price isn't going anywhere. Now, you could have made money if you traded both directions. I don't like doing that. I mean, I did take a trade because it was called, but when I got my 100 pips, I got out because I don't want to go back and forth. So once this high was ran, you knew today that's your range, right? You're not getting anything else. So if you're still holding that position, I mean, that's cool, but it's done. Like once that high right there is ran, you're done. But for a chalk to happen, you want to see price establish your high, and then you want to see price run your high, right? So we took liquidity, we ran the high. There's your chalk. So all we need is a pullback, and then we can get busy. So when we start getting busy next week, if you're buying GJ, I'm not. I prefer the UJ setup, but GJ is an easy setup. You have all this liquidity. Let me just delete this zone right here. Okay, you have all this liquidity. And sometimes people do talk about this trend line liquidity. So, you remember in your early days of trading, how y'all used to trade trend lines. And they set GJ up, man. They set it up beautifully where you got 1,000 touches. So all the dumb money traders are trading these touches. And because the market is ready to roll now, you're gonna get a pullback and we're gonna run that liquidity. if I had to just guess by looking at this chart, we're probably going to run all the way up to that 78 in March. So that's a bunch of pips, 700 pips or so. But for sure, you got relative equal highs right here at 389 pips. You have another high with an imbalance, probably on the 4-hour, at about the 575 pip. I would be shocked if we didn't at least run this high that had a gap into this imbalance. So I think we're going to get that. So, starting Sunday night or whatever, you'll probably get a pullback. So, I had my little chalk set up. This was an old daily high, and it got ran too. So now we'll just get a pullback and we'll get a push up. So I think the majority of the JPYs, at least the ones that I trade, EJ, GJ, UJ, they are all pretty much set up the same. So those are good options. This weekend when y'all drop y'all's charts, man, y'all please drop y'all's chart. Don't try to wait for me to drop my charts, man. I mean, I'm I'm on Zoom and I'm showing you exactly what time it is, right? So if you have a paid for account on what is this, TradingView, then you can come here and you're paid for a TradingView account, and you can go to the 2-week chart because it's probably going to be cleaner on most of these pair. 620 pips in the last 2 weeks on the up move. So yeah, we're getting a pullback. I would just fib that candle. That's a great trade setup. GA is a great trade setup. It's probably about 620 pips too. $5.49. And here's the deal. If you notice, if I took this trade last night, right? I have my high marked because I personally, if I get in the trade on Thursday or whatever, I already know that once we hit the liquidity, the trade is done. So I'm not holding that trade, and generally speaking, I really don't want to be in a trade on the second 4-hour candle on Friday, unless I'm taking a pullback, right? So once you hit that liquidity, it's a wrap. Like the market just it dies out, and it might poodoo around. Maybe we'll break a low on one of these time frames. Maybe we'll break a low, and then you'll see it like fizz out, and then on Monday or Sunday, it'll pull back up. Maybe run that liquidity, and then go down to where it's supposed to buy from. So you have several great options, okay? And in my opinion, if you have a good first week of the month, man, it really kind of allows you to coast the rest of the month. So every one of these trades that I showed you is over 250 pips. And I'm not saying that you have to get all 250, but what I'm saying is you have at least 250 pips. So if I start my week off and I catch 250, right? That gives me the advantage. So if I only catch 80 the next week, and I'm speaking of you, not me, because I'm going to catch my trades. But if I don't catch the amount that I'm anticipating, then I don't feel stressed because I already made my money. And because we have these huge candles to work with, let me look at EA because I think EA is the same way. Yeah, we got these huge candles to work with. You don't have to stress about which trade setup you want to take. You lock in on ones that look good for you, and you take the trade. All of these pair that I'm showing you have moved a lot of pips. All right, that's 300 pips pretty much. And I think EC should be about ready to sell. It's wicking out pretty bad. So do your analysis and then come up with a plan and then stick to whatever that plan is, because that's where it's gonna start for you. You're not gonna be able to make money consistently if you're flip-flopping and if you're wishy-washy. Once you have your chart marked up and the pair that you want to trade marked up, then wait for it. You know what I'm saying? Sit on it and wait for it. So I think Kim told me that she was done calling trades, which is cool. I'll call the trades for the next couple weeks. And what I would like to start doing is, and my original intention with this group was to make short videos, you know, kind of like this, and show you kind of what I look for, what I'm looking at. And once everybody is kind of on the same page, then we as a group can pick the trade setups that are better. Now, when we start picking our trade setups, you know, we really shouldn't pick it for reasons like, well, you know, that's what I trade. I don't care. Like I don't have a favorite, man. I trade the fat chick. I trade the one that gives me the most pips, or the fat dude. We have to train ourselves to be able to identify the low hanging fruit. And sometimes we're going to pick that trade, and 3 other trades are going to go, and you're going to be like, man, I'm in the wrong trade. No, just execute your trade. Once you make a selection, be at peace, right? Because all of these trades look good. Come here, Milo. Milo, come on. All of these trades look good. So it's not like there's a bad trade setup. You know, if you told me you were going to trade GN, that's cool. GN would be cool. If you told me you were going to trade UJ, that's cool. But just make a selection and base your selection off something solid. Like, hey man, it traveled 400 pips. It's an imbalance at 250 pips. That's why I like this trade. Easy enough. So be able to articulate why you're taking a trade or what you're looking for. When we ran these highs, right? When we ran these highs in the middle on this GCAT pair, all of us should have been expecting a pullback, because we can see we started from here, we pushed up, we broke highs. We should expect the pair to pull back. The same way it pulled back here after it ran these highs. So if we're consistent as a group in the way we view the charts, in the way we take trades, and we're selective as a group, everybody will be able to make money. Now, I don't want people to get frustrated because, hey man, I missed my entry, or, you know, my hedge picked up and I screwed it up. All of that is part of trading, and you just do it over and over. The repetition will turn the ugliness into a smooth experience. I still have ugly weeks. I'll get a bad entry, or, you know, my hedge to pick up, I have it too tight, and I'll have to bleed the trade out. And it might take me longer, right, to get my 100 pips. It might take me 130 pips to get 100 pips out of the trade. That's okay, because there's no right or wrong way to acquire your 100 pips. We just got to get the 100 pips. And I want to get out of the habit of getting in this trade and then getting in another trade, because the truth behind this is the less trades you take, the more money you're going to win. Y'all have any questions?
Nope.
Did everybody see the chalk on GJ? I mean UJ? Market structure shift chalk. I don't know what y'all call it. For me,
Yes, sir.
it's I call it a chalk. I was expecting the move. You know, if y'all were around any this week, you know I was expecting the move. On this higher time frame, when we got the pullback, I wanted to see this low get ran, right? Now, some people will say this low didn't get ran. You know, the wicks, like, you know, if I go by the wicks, it's probably barely getting ran. But, you know, instead of argue with people, just go to your line chart and see if the low got ran. Yeah, it got ran, right? So at the end of the day, the move started here and we ran this low. So if I fib from here to here, it'll give me a good idea of how high up I can take this trade. And then we don't have to, like, you don't have to argue with me or anybody else about where your TP is. So automatically, I see I can take the trade at least to this high, right? There's some trend line liquidity in here. It might be some imbalance on the 4 hour. Let me just turn back to the. Okay, yeah, we kind of talked about this already. There is some imbalance in there, but even after the imbalance, we have relative equal highs. So this could go all the way to the 78. It could go all the way to the 88. I'm not going to hold my trade all the way to the 88. You know, once it pulls back and I get in, you know, bro, 570 pips, 630 pips, I'm good, man. Like I don't know how fast or slow this move will happen, but I am, you know, relatively confident that it's going to happen and at a decent speed. If you don't like the JPYs, and some people don't, you have GN, you have GA, you got GC. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. Do y'all like the USD pairs? I personally, all the news on those on the USD pairs kind of make it screwy for me. And it's not that I'm scared of the news, but I just like a relatively smooth experience. I don't want to wrestle, man. So we got a bullish order block for the monthly. We can expect to pull down. I think we kind of talked about this too earlier in the week, but this area needed to be hit like weeks ago. And when I go to the 4 hour, I don't see any imbalance. I see double bottoms. I see trend line right here. So if I took this trade, I would expect it to come at least to 124.50. So right now it's showing 150, but remember we're going to pull back up first, right? We're going to pull back up to the zone because all this is giving you is a chalk. We're going to push down. We broke these lows, so it needs to pull back up. So if you are, you know, if you're a USD trader, you'll catch roughly 200. Y'all can have that as trash, but it's still a good trade, right? It's hopefully you're following kind of what I'm putting out. So let me see. This is ugly, but it's pretty much the same setup. Okay, so this was a 2 week bullish order block. We pulled down. We're probably going to pull further down and then start pushing up. So in the big scheme of things, we ran into this imbalance. Y'all see, price pushed up. We ran a high right here. We ran that high, break a structure. We got the imbalance. Price finally comes and taps into this imbalance. So I would look for a continuation move. I would look for that continuation move to take us to this 3-month zone that we marked up at the end of December. Y'all have any questions, comments, issues? Everybody good?
I have issues.
What's up?
I'm having issues with the when you're saying like the order, I guess
Order block.
not I don't know if it's another word you're saying. Like basically when it breaks through and yeah, like a bullish order block. Because when I'm looking at the candles, I'm seeing everything as a bullish I guess a bullish order block bearish or so I'm trying to figure out.
So when I say bullish order block right here,
Hmm.
you're not saying it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, I get it. Um, like when I look at these charts, I can see what I need. This is not clean, and maybe the 10-day is a cleaner look. Now if I say a bullish order block, can you see it?
Okay. Yes, those two candles right there.
There you go. So I get it. I've been doing this so long. I know that's a bullish order block.
Okay.
I can kind of just clean it up by changing time frames. But this is the whole reason that you'll hear me a lot of times say, "Hey, man, um, we're trading a picture, the same picture, right? We're trading a picture, and that picture is an order block. So if you have to switch time frames to make that picture come into focus, it's just like you turning that knob on that old school camera. I'm a lot older than you, but the same way that's an order block, right? If
Hmm.
you look at this move down, that's an order block, bro. Like the move up and the move down. That's a bearish order block right there. Would you agree with that?
Hmm. Yeah.
We just have to go dig to see what time frame gave us that bearish order block. And
Okay.
we already know because we just saw it on the 3-month, right? But
Got you.
that's all we're doing. If you can train your eye, and it'll happen for you over time. If you can train your eye to see what's going on in the market, you're going to make a lot of money because all this is a push down displacement. ICT 2022 mentorship slide 3. There's your displacement. There's your break of structure, market structure shift, chalk, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mhm.
Price is going to trade back up into this imbalance the same way when we trade it down here, this price traded back up into an imbalance.
So the wicks, even if the wicks are that close together, th- I guess
Okay.
that's where I get confused too.
Well, I'm on this particular time frame. You don't see an imbalance. But if
Okay.
you drop down, that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
Price traded into an imbalance up there. Okay, so you see how this kind of broke, and we broke this structure,
Hmm. Hmm.
and all that up wick is that up move right there,
Okay.
and
I see what you.
there's your wick. That was a wick, and there's a wick. So yeah, price just traded into an imbalance to keep pushing. So once you're able to see or kind of understand what you want to see, then you can line your trade setups. You can line them up because you're going to be able to see them play out or see them setting up. Coming into the week, I already know what I want to see. It's just, is the market going to give it to me? And at that point, I just have to be patient and wait on it.
Mhm.
I'm saying it's easy to get caught up in the chat. Oh, this and this, and Kim was calling a trade, and Kai was in a trade. You have to focus on your charts and your business, uh, and we're going to do that better as a group, the longer that we do this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
That focus will be more razor sharp the longer that we do this. And in the next few weeks, when I start asking y'all to call the trades, whenever you give a trade, I'm always going to ask you why. So I need you to be able to articulate why we're taking that trade, right? And then the group needs buy-in, and then we'll take the trade, and we'll hone in on the trade, and we'll execute the trade. And that's why I only like to talk about the trade we're in this group. I don't want to talk about oil or US 30. I want to talk about the trade that we're in this group, because people are at different stages or different levels. So I don't want to lose people and start talking about other stuff. So if I'm talking about another trade, I normally try to go post it at another spot in the Discord.
That was my only suggestion. Just because if we're like you saying, everybody has a different outlook, depending on if they just got started or if they've been looking at the market. That was tough over the last couple of weeks, is switching between you and Kim. It's getting a zone perspective, then getting a liquidity or a sweep perspective. And now it's like,
I get it.
it was like,
you're exactly right.
Am I still looking for the sweep? Or am I? So it's tough, because you're trying to pinpoint. Like zones are a little easier because it's a zone. Liquidity concepts there's different liquidity concepts that you're trying to.
The zones are hard for me, man, because they're subjective.
They are, but I'm just saying
that's the thing that burns me up
on the chart that you're going to be looking at. When you're looking at liquidity, you're looking at confluence more so. So that's where.
If I mark this
imbalance,
if I mark that imbalance, and I know these are weekly candles, but this could be on any time frame.
Right.
We come down, we get the displacement, and we come back up, and it leaves an imbalance. I know the market is coming back here. It didn't come this candle. This candle, it tapped into the imbalance. It ran the high. So that's liquidity. That's a liquidity grab.
Mm-hmm.
Now we in the trade. To me, like for me, this is so easy, and it's not subjective. You can't tell me, no, the imbalance isn't right here. It's here. That is an imbalance. That's an imbalance. But when I mark up a zone, if I mark my zone right here, somebody will say, no, you got to mark it right here. And then somebody else will say, no, you got to mark it up here.
Right.
Bruh. Where do I mark it? So if the candles touch, you don't have an imbalance, right? There is no imbalance between these three candles.
Correct.
But there is an imbalance between this one, and this one. There's an imbalance. And then this candle goes right up into that imbalance, right?
Yep.
Rolls out. So for that's what I'm saying I appreciate about smart money. And this is the way that I'm going to trade and call out trades and call out things that I see based on those imbalances. Order block, imbalance, displacement, we got to trade.
Right.
With this green and this red candle, order block, the market pushes down. Imbalance, which is the displacement. We got to break a structure. We got to trade. And when this thing buys up, it's going to buy back up probably to this zone. We're going to get a reaction right here. Whenever we hit here, we sell it. Now, I don't know how far I said I might sell it and then come up to this one. Whenever we hit here, we sell it. So don't think price is just going to run up here and it ain't going to react. It's going to react here, but it's not going to be as dramatic as this reaction right here, because we haven't touched that imbalance. And this is the imbalance that caused this break of structure.
Correct. See, that makes sense. See, I can follow that because I can follow it all day long.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
So I mean, I think that going forward, it'll clean it up a little bit with if I'm just calling a trade. And I do appreciate Kim for calling the trade,
Oh yeah,
but she said it's too stressful. Y'all stressing her out, man. So
that's
we'll,
gonna be. You're trying to learn it. You're trying to learn it with. You're trying to learn it with the expectation that you're gonna get a trade that week, and and you have to be able to see it through. You have to be able to see it through one lens, and that was stressful for me. I ain't gonna lie. The last couple of weeks, like to see it through two different perspectives when I've been learning one perspective, I wasn't taking the trades the opposite weeks. I was only taking trades when we're looking through it through one lens because I don't know how to trade the other way.
which I respect that. To me, this right here, this is the this is the one you want to holler at. You know what I'm saying? It's the end of the night. This trade you got to holler. Look at that gap right here. This next candle has to pull back and touch wicks. Right? We ran that high right there. Like all this left is for the trade to push down to this wick. And even if it doesn't push down to that wick, if it leaves short, right? Let's just say we push down halfway, 260, 300 pips. Like these are the trades that make it hard to sleep on Saturday night for me. Because like, man,
I got you.
that thing is set up. It's rare. It would have been great if we had got in here for a buy this week, right? And another thing, if you notice, this trade doesn't have a bottom wick. You see that?
Right.
Which tells me that we could run all the way down here to the bottom. That thing is set up. Well, that's going to be a nice little trade.
So at the top of the month, it's safe to say to look at the month, 2 month. I mean, 2 weeks.
Always. I'm glad you said that because I didn't show y'all the 2 month on purpose, but that's where you get your money, man. That's where you get your money. You'll hear me say a lot of times, you look at the candle that closes. And right now, you got January, February. And I don't know why you say it 2 months. I wasn't going to show you. But if you go and you look at your 2 month candles, then you're going to get, I don't even look at these AUD pairs, generally speaking, but you're going to get your best trade setups off your 2 month candle, right? On this 2 month, that is a clean, bearish OB, right? Mm-hmm. Do y'all believe the JPYs are selling?
Yep.
Because I used to get a lot of pushback when I said the JPYs are selling, but these are clean, clean candles, like clean big candles, big thick. I want to pay you a lot of money type candles. So, we appreciated that, Delaney, that you gave the group I wasn't gonna say it, but this is where you want to start your analysis. This is where you want to go to find your trade, because this is the candle. This is the most recent candle that's closing. So you can get your big picture view, right? If you fib this 2 month candle, you're going to get your zone and your 78 on this 2 month. And I expect price to hit that zone the same way it would hit a weekly zone, right? So what does that look like? Maybe you don't get the whole move the first week. Maybe it takes 7 days, 9 days, 10 days, 11 days, but you're going to get the move. Sometimes when we get an order block like this, the next week, you might get a dip down low. Maybe we run the liquidity out of the bottom of that candle first. Let me go back to EJ. I don't like EJ. Maybe CAD JPY. No, that's not it. Okay, so CAD JPY. How many pips is that? It's probably a massive amount of pips. about 100 pips. You know, if maybe the market can open up and run 100 pips, but sometimes you're going to do your analysis. You just like, man, I expect price to come here and give me 250 pips. Sunday, the market will take off in the other direction, and your attention goes away from the markup that you had. So you need to set alerts if you're that type of person, because sometimes you're just running to take liquidity or go tap into an area that it should have tapped into or it needs to tap into before the buy starts. So when you're doing these trade setups, what I like to do is have my little notepad or whatever, and I can write notes if I need to, or just write it right there on the chart. Write it on the chart, right click, and set your alert, whatever the case may be. Now, if you notice the same pairs that I was showing you on the lower time frame doesn't give you a good picture to look at on the 2 month, right? But that 2 week was a good picture. So that's why I really was showing you those lower time frames. I was just gonna tell y'all to go look at the higher time frames on tomorrow's call, but y'all get the sauce a little early. All right, y'all have any questions?
Nope, not for me.
All righty. Hey, Mimi,
I'm out.
Yep.
did you understand?
Yeah. I was just looking at the chart and going to the one more. That's the thing. It's seeing what I see. I know the knowledge that like you're telling me
Mhm.
that I need to input, but that's what it is. The biggest thing of it all is what do I see? What is my signals?
But that's exactly.
What do my antennas go off? What am I reading? And that's what I think I'm trying to like take what you're saying and then seeing, do I see this? What do I see? That's like the question that's in my mind right now.
And that's how it should always be. If you don't see it, then there's no way you can trade it. Once you start seeing it, you'll be able to trade it eventually. You won't be able to trade it the first couple of times. You might mess the trade up, or say, "Hey, man, I didn't get that entry," or "I got wicked out." But as long as you can see it, then you're winning. You're going to win. It's just a matter of time.
One day at a time.
We all on the road with you here.
It's funny because it's like when you show me like the charts, it's like I can see it. Then when I go out on my own, I'm looking like, dang.
That's the same way I felt for probably the first 7 months when I was looking at ICT videos. Nobody talked about the charts the way he talks about the charts. So I couldn't see it. And then when he made that 2022 mentorship, that's the first time he's ever put all his concepts together in a trade idea. You know what I'm saying? Like he would talk about stop runs. He would talk about getting 20 pips a week, becoming a millionaire in 10 years. He would talk about a breaker block, or order block, an imbalance, but he would never put it all together. In that 2022 mentorship, he went and showed, he put it all together. And I was like, wow, I still couldn't see it, but about 3 or 4 months after that mentorship, I could see it. I just encourage y'all to, I'm sorry, somebody speaking?
Go ahead, Tom. Finish what you about to say.
No, I would just say, I just encourage y'all to go keep watching those ICT videos. It's dry, it's mundane, as bad as he, all right, Shay, or Sham, as bad as he rants, I just encourage you to keep going back and listening because you're gonna see it eventually. And then once you see it, man, everything is it's crystal.
That's the part because I started running back. I'm on video 20 again. It's like I'm running through it faster this time because stuff that I know I don't focus on it too hard. But the the scalping idea, like when he started talking about time of day, like Monday, Tuesday, because a lot of times he don't look for setups on Mondays. A lot of times he look for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So like he's only looking at 3 days a week most of the time to take the trade. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And then the time of day is usually at New York Kill Zone.
But that's all he trades is New York Kill Zone.
Huh?
All he trades is New York Kill Zone because he's trading the NASDAQ.
The NASDAQ.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to look at when we're trading currency, because he bounced back to Forex.
Well, that's why I'm always pointing out. So have you ever heard me say that you're going to get your trades on Tuesday night through Thursday night pretty much?
What?
Have y'all heard me say that?
Most of the time, yeah, in London.
Yeah. Tuesday night at 1 a.m. Yeah. Okay. It's the same thing. What he's doing on the 2-minute chart, and he's going Tuesday through Thursday because the volume is heavier.
Right.
We're doing the same thing, but we're doing it based on the power of 3. On Sunday, you're getting your counter trend move. You're getting your fake move. If I'm expecting to buy on Sunday, I expect to see selling. It needs to sell down to the area that we're going to buy from. If I'm expecting a short, a short, I need to buy up to the area we're going to sell from. Power of 3. So he talks about Judas swing. He used to always talk about Judas swing, and I didn't really understand the concept. And all he means is that's that liquidity wick. You know what I'm saying? That's that liquidity wick. You're in the trade. It's buying. Then boom. It's like somebody hits the flush the toilet knob and it comes right back against you because the real move is going the other way. So if you know, that's why I say having expectations. I used to watch a lot of videos on YouTube and I would hear these traders say, hey man, don't go into the market with expectations. You react. That doesn't work for me. I need to go with expectations because I'm looking for something to happen. And if it doesn't do it, then I'm not pressing trade. I'm not hitting the sell or the buy. But I am going to the market with an expectation because I looked at the charts on the weekend and I saw an opportunity where I can take a buy or a sell from. So now I expect that to play out on the charts. I'm not going to the market one day saying if it sells, I'm selling. If it buys, I'm buying. That's dumb to me. I want to go and look to see where I have the advantage. That trade just, the candle on GJ or GA and GN for this week, it went dumb pips, like 400 pips, 500 pips this week. So I am coming. I expect to get a pullback. And that pullback is going to be over 200 pips. I need that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm coming to the market next week with the expectation that I can hit them over the head for 200 of those pips.
Gotcha. I think that's why I confused me when I first started training with you, because I was trying to figure out how you knew that, but it wasn't that you knew it. It's just based off of what you're seeing. That's what you expect to happen. So whether it happens or not ain't in your control, but that's what you need to see.
Yes.
Okay, because that's what was throwing me off the beginning. But now I'm based off of that. You said this is my criteria. I need to see, and if it just doesn't happen, then it don't happen. Go from there.
And if it don't happen, don't click the button.
All right, cool. What would you say, man, to manage? And I'll be honest, to manage the expectation of the flip group, because I understand you definitely want to learn how to do it, because at the end of the day, it's no fun to just make the bread and then you can't reduplicate this process over and over again. Like, when do you really think we?
That's well, I understand what you say. I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, when do you expect us to truly?
I don't have an expectation for y'all because I don't know how much time you're spending with it.
Okay.
The group will help us color in the lines, right? If you were doing this on your own, like I was, there's nobody holding you accountable. There's nobody helping you focus to draw in on a trade. You don't have a requirement to mark your charts up. You can go to the club. You don't have to do no homework. You can just come to the market and shoot from the hip like you've been doing.
Right.
Habits are hard to break, and they're easier to form if they're done in the right way. You do something for 3 weeks, you got to have it. So if we're marking up our charts and we're all looking for the same thing, even if you're resisting it first, right? Because you trade zones. If you're a Kai and you trade zones, and you come here and we're doing order blocks and imbalances, eventually your vision is going to change because everybody else markup is dropping in here and it's going to be order blocks and we're trading it to an imbalance. Or price hit this imbalance and we're trading it the direction that it's supposed to go. We're going to all see it like that. And at that point, I think you'll find that this method of trading is a lot easier than what you've probably been doing.
No.
And I think what really gives me the advantage trading like this is like we got a 2 month order block. Bro, that might be a range of 800 pips. You see what I'm saying? So somebody else might be coming to the market with a bird's eye view. With a view too close, like they got a 15-foot view and they trying to catch these 15 pips. But you have the bird's eye view. You see all 800, so you can get in the trade without stressing and worrying about it, pulling back on you because we got 800 pips to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, that gave me the biggest confidence booster going into a trade. So y'all know I always talk about that UJ trade from last January, the one that went 2,800 pips. That I didn't stand at 2,800 pips, but taking that trade, I mean, it was like throwing down your big joker in a spades game. You don't worry about if you're going to lose. Sometimes you get in the trade, I hope I don't lose this trade.
Right.
Well, when you trade off of the higher time frame, 2 month, 3 month, you're not worried about it. It's the whole reason that I know that the EU and GU is going to buy up to those imbalances because I've known since the end of December. Bro, this is March 1st almost. And at the end of December, I saw the 3 month order block on EU and GU. I don't trade AU and NU, generally speaking. But when I saw it, I said, man, it's going to buy. Well, it kept selling for the next 3 or 4 weeks. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But the first time I saw that weekly bullish order block, now I can get in here for the buy. And I'm not looking for sales. I'm just looking for buy. Everything that sells, I know it's a pullback. And a couple of weeks ago, I got in a spirited debate, with somebody on whether or not there was a break of structure. I already know it. I know it is because I know we're buying. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that advantage, it strengthens your trade ideas because you know the direction that the market is going. So if we get into JPYs next week and somebody is telling you, oh, I'm looking for sales. All right. Like, you don't have to argue with them, but in the back of your mind, you're like, no, we buying. We definitely buy. Because, we got a bearish 2 month order block. We got to buy up to tap into that order block.
All right.
So, yeah, I don't have to argue with nobody, like whether they saying it's bearish or and I'm saying it's bullish. I don't, okay, whatever. It's going to pay me my 500 pips. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way it is. So I think by us seeing this from this perspective is going to strengthen your idea of what you're looking for. And if the market doesn't do what you're looking for, tap out. You know, I mean, we can always find a 100 pip trade every week. We'll always find as a group a 100 pip trade, guaranteed.
Good. Good deal.
Hey, Aiden.
Got you.
No, that's all good. Y'all got anything else?
I appreciate this. Thank you.
For sure. I'll drop this in the in our little group chat, and you know, y'all make sure y'all thank Kim for calling the trades, and we'll kind of I'll call it this week. I want to, you know, everybody drop their chats. The faster y'all drop y'all's chats, the faster I can drop my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I can't drop you, Jay.
Y'all look, you drop what you see. I don't want to take away, you know, you did the work. We're going to see the same things, right?
Well, I already put it in chat, but I don't think I put it in our account, our Flip account. Account.
I saw your little ugly markup, but but yeah, I'm with it. You're already in the trade, huh?
Oh no, I took profit because I knew it was gonna pull back.
Oh yeah, okay. So
yeah.
you traded it to them same highs.
I traded it to the weekly 50% gold zone.
Okay.
So can we do it like, if you want us to drop the chats, then can we do it where they need to be in before the Saturday call then?
Well, look, that would be great. I don't want to put a deadline on y'all, but what I'm saying is, I can do my stuff like this, and I get it. I know everybody is not that fast. All y'all have lives, so it's not. I don't want to hold my stuff until everybody drops a chart, but I don't want to drop my stuff and then everybody else is dropping the same thing that I dropped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
That's not going to help you. I want y'all to drop y'all stuff. I can drop mine after the call, which is not a big deal. Sometimes I like to drop it as soon as I see it. Like I can drop it right now, just like I took y'all through it. But I want y'all to get accustomed to going and finding your own food. And the way that we do that is for me to allow you to go and find it and drop it into the chat. Now, some of y'all don't have paid for accounts, so you're not going to see the 2 month or the 2 week or the 3 week, right? Which is fine. It's fine. Work with what you got. You know, I don't know if y'all can do like I can break it down to 10 days or 5-hour order blocks or whatever to find the order blocks that I need to see. But if y'all have the standard package, does anybody have the standard package, and have they tried to go like to the 10-hour chart? I don't know if you can do that.
Like the free?
Yeah, the free.
No, you can't do any of that on free.
Yeah, you can't do it on the free one.
Okay.
They don't. I don't even think they let you go past the 4-hour or something like that. I don't know.
No, they let you go all the way up to like 1 month, 3 months. You can do the regular standard that's on there, but you can't add intervals.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I love the fact that I can change my time. For me, changing my time frames is one of the biggest flexes trading you have. I watched a video years ago when I was first learning to trade, and a dude said that. He said, I'm convinced that TradingView gives you those time frames just so they can smack you. You know what I'm saying? That's not true, but I understand what he's saying now, because if you're just using the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily, you can make a living from doing that. But you're not seeing everything you could be seeing, if you had the advantage to be able to manipulate the charts to give you the picture you need. Because all I need is an order block. If I can see the order block, God dog it, I can see the trade setup. And sometimes it just doesn't show up on the 4-hour chart. It looks like, half candles or whatever. But if you can break that and you can fine tune what's going on, then you'll have a better trading experience. I don't want y'all to think that just because you don't pay, you can't make money. That's not what I'm saying. So I'm going to post what I see. Y'all post what you see. And the trade setups you like. Everybody has access to the weekly, so that GA trade is going to be there. So if you don't have if you don't see anything on the monthly, it's some beautiful trades on the weekly. If you do have the paid, you got 2 month, you got 2 week, they're both closed. You got the weekly, and then you got the in between. But we should be looking at the 2 month chart if you have access. If you don't have access to that, the monthly. All right, y'all got anything else?
Hey, Todd, were you calling me earlier?
Yeah. I was asking about your mom, man.
Yeah, she's doing all right. She got back home from the hospital. She was like had to stay the night for 2 days. She had severe vertigo.
Man, sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
Glad she all right, though.
yeah.
But hey, if you're not busy, Aiden, you can we can Zoom tonight or whatever. But
Yeah,
you want to do it at 6?
yeah. I think tonight at 6, I should be fine with that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
All right, thank you, man.
Thanks, Todd.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right.
All right. See you. Thank you.